So, I mean, the greens at Ballyneal are some of the most severe I've ever built, and some of my favorites. They're wild, but they're built out of the natural terrain, and the natural terrain there is pretty wild. Several of them are they're wild, but it kind of sits in a bowl in a way. And the thing I like about them so much is that you can use the slopes around the greens to get the ball close. You're not just firing it at the pin all the time. You're firing it left of the green and letting it feed in. You're using the short grass behind the green to stop a ball and let it come back sometimes. So the green ties into the terrain and the kind of approach shot you're hitting much more than a typical golf course. You're never just like, it's a little green and it's just perched up and you just gotta land it on a dime right there. 16 maybe is a little like that, but most of them have got a lot more going on, and there's some big movement that you can use to help. When we were building that, Bruce Hepner ran the job for me. He and Brian Schneider and Kai Golby were all living in a house together. Kai and Brian did the majority of the greens there, and then Eric Iverson came in and helped out a little bit. A couple other guys helped out building, shaping a green here or there. But Brian was still young, and he mowed a bunch of the best greens in the world. He mowed greens at Augusta and Sand Hills and some other places. So he knew what he was doing was wild, but it wasn't like unreasonable or impossible to maintain. And those guys just kind of fed off each other all summer. And once I liked the direction it was going, it was like, okay, these are gonna be pretty different. On a lot of the courses I built kind of from then till recently, I've been an editor of greens as much as a designer of greens. There's a lot of them that I'll let those guys make the first pass on something without telling them too much about what I want them to do. Just general stuff about, it's a long par 4, so people are coming in here with a long club, and, try to make it harder to come in from the right than the left. And just let them run with that for a day or two. But, not change the world. The idea is, I'll spend a half a day or a day trying to rough something in and see what Tom thinks of that, and then we'll go from there. And, the best ones, I barely do anything to them. The 12th green at Ballyneal is one of my favorite ones that has my name on it, but that's really Brian's. And then the 7th is one that I could not figure out what I was doing for the longest time, and finally, just one afternoon after staring at it long enough, it's like, I know how this will work. We'll just take short grass up the slope on the left and over, and then you can use that as a backstop and to feed the ball around. So it was just, all we had to do was dig the bunker on the right and use that little bit of fill to make the contours in the green and hold it up. Brian was working over on number 4, I think, and I said, come over here and dig a bunker for me. And 2 hours later, we had a bunker and a green. And that's about all we had to do.